So, our next speaker is going to be my colleague, Ula Augustyniak. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but she's live here with us actually, calling in from Poland. She will be on the screen in 1 second if everything works well, and I pray to my tech overlords that it will work well. If you wait long enough, you always have the right person on the screen. Ula, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Ula, we can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much for joining in. I filled the time already, so I will give the stage to you. Can I please have a very, very big applause for Ula calling in from us?
Hello, nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you online, offline, etc. So just give me share my screen and we can start. 1 second. A lot of clicks to start, but all right, you should see my presentation. Just let me know if you can see it, maybe online and offline. Just confirm. Okay, yeah, I see that in chat that you can also see it. So perfectly, let's start. So today we would like to talk about how to measure product market fit, because it's important to answer this question, like when we achieve this product market fit. And I have around like 20 or 25 minutes, so I'm not able to talk about all the metrics and all ways that how we can measure that. So I picked the pirate metrics because it's quite popular framework. So we will discuss it today, this concept. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. So I'm Ula, and I'm mainly product designer at Boldare. But I'm also the leader of chapter Measure and Learn. So on the daily basis, I'm trying to combine business goals, product goals with the user needs, and later on create the best UX and UI in our digital products at Boldare. Quick agenda. So for today, we would talk a little bit about the metrics in PMF, so why it's important, etc. After that, we will just have overview of the pirate metric framework. So for those who don't know that or didn't heard about that, so I will explain that. And we would go through the 5 key stages of this metric and just wrap it up. Okay, metrics in PMF. So how to measure PMF? So basically, this is also like Carla mentioned before. It's in PMF. It's crucial to know and have some guides. So have the metrics to understand like when we reach this product market fit. And metrics should be our guide in our business. So basing on that, we can work like in data informed approach. And we should know like what is our conversion, what is the health of our business, where there is the low conversion, so how we can optimize product, etc. So it should be like our guidance. And this guide, those metrics should allow us to make quick decisions quicker and more accurate, because we are basing on specific numbers. We are basing on the facts, so our decisions would be more accurate to take next steps. And about the framework, so today we will discuss this pirate metrics. And basically, this framework focuses on the key stages of customer journey. There are a lot of different frameworks like hard framework, etc. But this one focuses mostly on this funnel, on this customer journey. And it's also called like pirate metric, and it's basically it's an approach to analyzing a business performance that mostly focuses on this customer satisfaction, because those stages are related to the customer satisfaction as well. And and basically it presents like how your business converts and at which stage we should focus more and optimize more, so how later on we can obtain our revenue and increase our revenue, because this is our goal in this funnel. And one thought, so basically you can collect a lot of data, and of course it's important to collect data like quantitative, qualitative, etc. But and you can measure everything, but only few metrics would really matter to analyze, to track, and later on make decision basing on that. And the same way of thinking had Dave McClure, because he is a creator of this concept of this metrics. And he was thinking that only 5 key metrics are worthy to measure and to track to your product succeed. So he recommended to focus on those 5 stages. Sometimes it's 6, because sometimes also awareness is like the first stage, but in this concept we have 5. And as well, sometimes people also expand it like up to 10, because they expand or add some additional metrics to the specific stage. But my thought is about that is that you should know like what is missing in the specific stage, or what question you would like to answer to be more data driven. So if you would like to add something, think if it's like necessary and why you need to track that. Or is it like vanity metrics or something like that? Because we don't want vanity metrics. And so before we go to the details, so some fun fact, because I'm using this acronym like R, and it stands for acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. So where's the pirate? So basically, on the beginning, it was the this acronym, this R, and if you say it out loud, like with those R, so it's like the shot of the pirate. So so later on it was like called pirate metrics. So this is like fun fact. Maybe it was obvious, maybe not, but you can. So if you were searching for some information about that, you can type like this R framework or this pirate metric. And so visually probably you saw it before. It's like the flipped pyramid, because on the top we have this widest audience, so we have like random users, but also this end customers, and it's increasing down to going to the revenue. And before we go to the details of every of this stage, because we will talk about it more, so let's just summarize what benefits we can have from this metric framework. So generally, this tool allows you to measure and optimize your user conversion funnel, because it focuses on the user journey. So we can analyze every stage of that. As I mentioned, it allows to focus on the key metrics. So something that really matters in your business, something that you should analyze every day, track it, etc. And thanks to that, of course, we can analyze the growth of the customers, and also we can catch where we are losing the customers. So at what stage we are losing customers, and later on, of course, go deeper and conduct some testing to answer why we are losing them. So let's go to the details, 5 stages of pirate metrics. So the first stage is acquisition. So this is the stage where the new users came to our product. Acquisition is generating new customers to our business. And here we would have like all customers. I mean that all users, like end customers, but also those random users who just click something or just came to our product by mistake. I mean that it wasn't their need, but somehow they appeared. And important question here to answer is like, where are our customers coming from? So in this stage, we should know like where are they coming from. So some additional questions are about like what channel is driving the most traffic. So we are thinking here about the channels, like communication channels with the customers. So which one is the largest volume one? Which one is the lowest customer acquisition cost? So which one is the cheapest one? And which channel is the best performing one? So we can also combine like which one is the cheapest one, but with the largest volume, etc. So this is what we should answer in this stage. And examples here, we could have like number of users entering free trial, entering some links from the newsletter, downloading the applications from the store. So basically, this is the first touch point for the user. And metrics here, examples, we would have a lot of marketing campaign metrics. So I mean that cost per click, cost per impression, some cost per registration. So we can calculate like what was the total cost of the campaign and how many registrations we have through that. So what was the cost by acquisition of the single customer. And going further, yes, so having all those, we can also calculate the return of investment from the specific campaign. So we should take into account like all costs of this campaign and how many users we were able to invite to our product. And also we have this return on ad spend. So this is like how many dollars you earn for each advertising dollar. So we can also calculate it this way. And let's grab some tips in this stage. So basically, yes, as I mentioned, we should analyze this return of investment of this marketing campaign. We should know like which channel is the most profitable. And here is very important to analyze the marketing strategy and tactics, because when the acquisition is low, it's important to work on this tactic, optimize it, etc. So here we can experiment with some new channels. So if you see that some channels are not working, so maybe it's worth it to remove it and try something new. Some emails, some events, some social networks, blogs, and other social media campaigns, etc. So it's good to set up hypotheses about the specific channel, try it, conduct the testing, and after that validate if it's positive, negative, and if we should invest in this more or not. So those are some tips that you can grab about acquisition. Let's go further. So the second stage is activation. So here we should have those activated users. And question here is like, how good is the customer's first experience? So here we can answer like, does the user realize value from your product? Because here is important. So this is like also Carla mentioned that in this stage, user should find the main value of the product very quickly and effectively, and it should be understandable at the first place. So here we can also conduct more user testing if users understand value, if it's obvious, if it's highlighted enough. And what is important here, so we have something like aha moment. So this aha is like the moment when new users first realize the value of our product. And maybe we can go through this example because it's like the best explanation about that. So let's take a Uber application. So someone, for example, downloads the application. Let's say she requests a ride. She is waiting for the driver. She can check, okay, like he's supposed to be like in 5 minutes, and the car arrives on time. and she is moved from location A to location B. And this is this aha moment, because here, as this user, I can realize, okay, I wanted to be moved from point A to point B, and it was done. Of course, here there is also the quality of that, etc. But yeah, basically, I realize the value of application that I can fulfill my needs. And what about examples? So for SaaS, it could be like number of subscriptions, like first subscriptions, number of first purchases, first booking, like in Airbnb. For some music apps, it could be like at least 3 songs liked, or some sharing, joining some community, sharing playlists, etc. It depends on the specific product. And what about metrics? So metrics here should be defined, like first we need to define like what it means that user is activated, because for every product it would be different. So for example, in social media, it would be like the post was shared first time, or there was the first time that someone shared some reel, some video, etc. However, what we can measure here is this activation rate. So this is the number of activated users versus this total number of users who sign up. So if you have like 100 users signed up in this month and 20 completed the activation step, so yeah, it depends on the product. So we have a ratio about like 20%. And yeah, also let's grab some tips. So what about if the activation rate is low? So here it may indicate that the activation process is too complicated, or that users are not receiving enough value from the product or service. So this is not good in this way, or it's hard to find the main value. So here we can check it more in qualitative data, like by the user testing, for example, like why they are not activated, or it's taking a lot of time. And at the third stage, so we are in the middle, we have retention. And retention is about users who are coming back to our product and basically using product like in periodically, so again and again. So this is also what we should achieve during the product market fit. And question here that we should answer is like, how many of your customers are you retaining? And also another way around, so why we are losing our customers, so the others that are not retaining. And yeah, examples of retention. So in SaaS, it would be like people subscribed, like for example, every month. So they are coming back like every month, and renewal the subscription. And in e-commerce business, that means that someone bought your product like multiple times. About the metrics here, so we have this retention rate. So this is about how many customer return. So we can calculate it like on the first, 7th, and 3rd day per month, for example. And stickiness, which will present us the user's engagement. So the number of people that are highly engaged with our product. So here we have some metrics like monthly active users, daily active users. So it depends on the product, like what is important for us that users stick to our product, right? Because, for example, for Facebook, it would be like daily active users. For LinkedIn, as I know, it's more monthly active users or weekly active users, because we are not using this application like every day, probably. And one more, which is also important, and it's answering this question about the lost customers. So this is the churn rate. So this is the number of lost customers during a specific period of time. And here we can also calculate it like monthly, yearly, weekly. So it depends like what period of time we would like to analyze. And some tips also for low retention rate. So if the retention is low, it may indicate that users are not finding enough value in the product or in our service. So this is not good for us. So here my tip would be that we should validate the value proposition with our users because maybe we are not targeting the proper audience, or maybe this audience, this audience, it's not needs of this specific audience. So we should conduct more market research. We can conduct some user testing, usability testing, or we can also test our business model, because maybe there are some barriers preventing them from returning because of the pricing. So this is another option that we can validate. And about the value proposition, so today I know that in Berlin there are workshops about that, so you can also probably join and have to know like what is the great value proposition, how to build that. And let's go further. So the fourth stage is about the referrals. So this is about like how can we turn our customers into our advocates. And basically, we don't have to turn them into our advocates if the product is adding the great value to their lives. Because if the product is so great that they are grateful that they have it and they can use it like every day, so they will tell about it to their friends, their family, and recommend it like by themselves. So because this is so great. An example here, so of course we have some new customers started using our application or our product by others' recommendation. And we can also, another way, calculate like how many, for example, invitations were sent by other customers. And the metric here, so this is like a well-known metric. So this is NPS, Net Promoter Score. So we can measure the loyalty here. And of course, we would like to have only promoters, so those who score like 9 and 10. And we don't want distractors, so someone who is voting like 0 to 6. So basing on this metric, we can calculate this NPS. However, about the distractors, so this is one limitation of NPS metric, that we can also have distractors who are not our customers. So that we have non-customers distractor that are generating bad word of mouth to others, but we cannot catch them in this metric. So here we need more market research or some additional research to catch it. And also answering this question, like how we can turn our customers into advocates. So here we can experiment with some referrals programs. So some advocacy programs, some benefit by inviting others, etc. So we can experiment. I know that Airbnb tested like multiple times before they, when they launched this invitation program. This is quite nice case study. I can send you later on. And finally, we have the last stage. So something that we are very interested in. So what is our revenue and how does the product earn money? Because the product should earn to itself, and we would like to increase our revenue. And so examples here is the revenue earned from the single customer during this path of this funnel through all stages. And the metric here would be the customer lifetime value. So this is the ratio between like how much money the business, the company earns per single customer and what is the cost to acquire them. And we can also calculate here average revenue per paying user. So this is like the revenue generated by each user in the specific period of time, and it's taken like average. And here from the tips, so I think that we would like to have like gold tip how to increase the revenue. However, there is no one tip. So basically, if we would like to increase our revenue, so we need to have a holistic look to all aspects of our business. So we should take this funnel and analyze every stage of that and think, okay, how we can optimize every of the stage, because it's like parts of our revenue. So unfortunately, there is no one gold tip. And what else we can do is think about the pricing model, the pricing strategy. I'm sorry. So we should experiment with different pricing models, and strategies to find optimal price point that maximizes our revenue. So this is what we can do. So so all stages in details. So let's grab some key takeaways, what we've learned today. So so what we would like to remember is that we should focus in PMF in the key metrics in our business. And we can measure everything, but only few metrics we should analyze every day, track every day, and make decision basing on that. We should check the best performing channels and pick the best performing ones and invest in that, and optimize our marketing strategies. Analyze, of course, if the product value is understandable and answer target group needs, and also if it's great so much that customers recommend it to others. And of course, we should analyze the revenue by this holistic look of the business. So thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ula, with us. Let's take a few questions from the audience before we move on to the rest of the program. Anyone a question? There's one at the front. I will take this one first.
Quite quick, actually. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
All right. I was wondering if the App Store rating is a good NPS, or if you would rather ask the users within the application.
I would say that you can take it into account. However, I would go deeper with some additional testing, because it's also something that you can take into account, like the quantitative data, right? So we see the overview, and of course later on we need to know, like, okay, because we know like what is going on, what is the fact, and after that we should know, okay, why they are rating this way. So we should conduct like more interviews with our customers, etc., or some additional as you mentioned, sending some additional surveys in the application, but asking more like why they are rating this way. So what is the main factor? So I would recommend combining those two approaches.
Thank you so much, Ula. There was another question somewhere here. I will give you the yes.
Hello there. So NPS was mentioned during the previous question as well, during the PLG presentation, and NPS was mentioned during this presentation now. And often when we hear about NPS, people say, yeah, there's NPS, but it's another good metric. And to my understanding, is a not good metric to mention, as it's not very actionable, right? So because like how to increase the customer satisfaction, there's like millions of ways. So my question to you is, do you have some framework to increasing the NPS, something that is kind of universal, or at least is close to universal, that you would recommend to us?
All right, so here I would answer like quite similar, because as I understand, you mentioned that it presents as the range of the satisfaction, but still we don't have this answer, like why the satisfaction is low, and also like why the satisfaction is high, right? Because it could be we don't have this answer, so we need some additional user testing or some interviews to know why it's going this way. I'm not sure if I answered this your question.
He is nodding, so I think you answered it well. Thank you so much. Let's do one last question. Does anyone have still a question? I will go to the front.
Hi. So my question is about how to know when to be happy with a certain metric. So let's say, for example, I don't know, your activation is super low, then it might be obvious. But yeah, my question is more about the parts where it's less obvious. And I guess benchmarks would be difficult because it varies from product to product. But I think you get my question, right? So how do you sort of know when to move on, and how is there like a framework to deal with that?
So I think that as we saw, we have this whole funnel to later on go to the revenue. And from the, you can go like, okay, from activation point, but you can also see, okay, like what is the revenue overall? Because you can calculate, okay, if the product earns for itself or not. If not, you should, think like what are the specific stages, what is the metric of the specific stages, and yeah, so how to increase the specific stage.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Ula, for your presentation. We will leave you at this moment. Can I get a big applause from the audience for Ula one more time? And Ula, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Have fun, though. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Ula.